Okay, nerds, don't mind the messy bed, but we have a lot of news from ArenaNet about the foreseeable future for Guild Wars 2. A lot of stuff that I actually talked about in my first impression videos when I started playing that I thought would be really nice, that actually got some not so great feedback from people and some really excited feedback from people. So this video is going to detail all of those changes, what I think about them, and what's going to happen with me in the future for content creation as well. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you would like. You don't have to, but if you turn on notifications, you could see all of my content right when it goes live. So for those of you who don't know, I am having a baby, and we're now about 3 weeks away. So I'm going to try to read this to the best of my ability and let you guys know what I think and what I'm most excited about, but I do get out of breath very quickly due to that. So let's go. I'm so excited. So this came out this morning, and there's a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm sure you've read it already, but if you haven't, let's dive in. 2022 and beyond. Hi all, Josh and Amy here, and Sam. We're so excited to talk about what's on the horizon for Guild Wars 2. Grab a snack, get comfortable, and settle in for a long one. When we set out to build our plans for 2022 and beyond, we spent considerable time looking back on the last 10 years of the game's history, taking stock of where we succeeded and where we fell short. Finally, how many people have been asking about this? We reviewed player and press feedback. Amazing. Spoke to those at the studio who were here for the highs and lows. Also great. And dug into the mountains of data covering the span of the game's operation. At the end of the process, it was clear that there were two key areas we knew we needed to address as part of our plans. First, we need to prioritize delivering consistent updates for our players. This is one of the things that I talked about when I first started playing, because everybody was like, there's an ongoing counter for the last strike and the last PvP map and the last Worldview World Change and all of these things. And I kept saying that they should put things on a schedule, kind of like how Final Fantasy does, where you have a live letter, a patch, 3 months, a live letter, a patch, 3 months, a live letter, a patch. And people were like, well, they sort of have that. And I was like, well, they sort of don't. So this is huge. This is really huge. The release of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons and the resolution of a story arc that was 10 years in the making feels like a fitting time to reevaluate the overall Guild Wars 2 experience. Specifically, how we provide regular content updates to our players and what those updates contain. Yes! This means continuing to tell compelling stories that expand the world of Tyria while providing a better experience for those who enjoy the game modes such as World v World, PvP, and endgame group content. That is awesome, and that's great to hear that they know that they've been prioritizing one over the other, because when they started ArenaNet PvP, World v World was like their baby that other games didn't have, and then they saw how well story was working for other games, and so they kind of shifted gears and focused on really story only, not only, but you know what I mean, and kind of left these other things to sit for a little bit until they could get to them. Which isn't bad, but prioritizing it this way makes all of the player population feel like they're being listened to. And feel like the game is made for them, and not just specific areas, which is awesome. Second, it's important that our plans allow our team to maintain a healthy work and life balance. We've always believed that our top priority is the health and well-being of our employees, and we're committed to that now more than ever. This will help ensure that the exceptional team behind the Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons expansion will continue to be happy at ArenaNet for years to come. Our work on this front will largely be invisible to you and will mostly focus on improving our planning and day-to-day development process. I've actually heard of a lot of people who joined game studios and had issues because of crunch, or the way they were being treated in the office and things like that. So even though it's in the background, I think it's really good that they're working on it. Right. Full steam ahead. The Guild Wars 2 community has grown quite a bit over the last few years, but it could be even bigger. This is what I kept saying. It's like, there's so many things that they could change. They don't have to, because they've been so consistent as like, you know, that one MMO that just is never going away. But they could be better, so it's nice that they're finally taking initiative. And just with all of the changes that they're making, they could be the best MMO development and production team right now, honestly. Now that Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons is released, one of our top priorities as a studio is getting Guild Wars 2 ready for release on Steam and introducing the world of Tyria to an entirely new audience of gamers. You only get to launch on Steam once, and we want to make sure we do it right. Over the coming months, we'll be wrapping up work on the Steam integration, cleaning up some aspects of the early game experience, and ensuring that the game and the studio are operationally ready for a new platform launch. We're also working on getting DX11 ready to exit beta and making it the default graphics setting for new users. Sorry, I keep moving the page because I'm so excited. We're not ready to commit to a hard date for Steam quite yet, but our hearts are set on launching this year. We'll keep you updated as things progress. Living World Season 1 returns. This is huge for me. I know why they took it away, but having that much information and that many characters that aren't available to you realistically, like there's a little cinematic in the game that kind of explains a lot of what happened, but it's a little jank and it's not perfect and it's not the full fleshed out story. And so when I was going through the story for the first time, it felt a bit out of place having to watch a fan-made video. I got to see everything, but it wasn't in-game, and it would have been better if it was. So this is really exciting, especially for me. One of the most frequent pieces of feedback we hear about the new player experience is that it's hard to get into the Elder Dragon storyline without the context of what happened in Living World Season 1. Content that was only available for a brief time in the earliest years of Guild Wars 2. This year, much of Living World Season 1, Scarlet's War, will be making a permanent return to Guild Wars 2 through the story journal. Yay! We'll be combining the key story moments and experiences of Living Season 1 into 5 episodes that will be released through 2022. Our goal is to provide a cohesive bridge between the personal story and Living World Season 2. Yes, this is what I asked for this too! And give players the opportunity to earn many of the legacy achievements and rewards that have been unavailable all these years. The first episode, Flame and Frost, will release on will release on April 19th. The season will conclude with the return of Battle for Lion's Arch, which will include a new strike mission and challenge mode. That's great, because not only are they bringing it back, they're bringing back achievements that maybe people didn't get previously, even when they played it, and also making it replayable. We're excited for veteran players to be able to revisit the key moments of Living World Season 1 for the first time in nearly 9 years, and to give new players a better narrative introduction into the expansion and Living World content that follows it. Living World 1 will be a free addition to the base game for all players, including free accounts, forever. That is also huge. The other thing I would wonder is, a lot of people are wondering if when the next story content comes out for End of Dragons, if seasons 2 through Icebrood will be at a lower cost or free again at some point like they just did throughout the summer, but... World vs. World. In the July 2021 ArenaNet Studio update, we said that we view World vs. World as a cornerstone game mode of Guild Wars 2. This statement still holds true for us, and now that Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons is released, we can further increase our support for World v. World. Our priorities for World v. World are largely unchanged from what we talked about in our Future of World vs. World blog post in September of last year. Firstly, we're actively working on addressing population balance with the World v. World restructuring system. That's a lot to say. In the blog post mentioned above, we said that we'd be taking a multi-phase approach to building this system. We're still in Phase 1 now, which is focused on standing up the complex back-end infrastructure for the system and refining the matchmaking algorithm. We've run multiple Phase 1 betas over the past few months, and after taking a short break to release End of Dragons, we'll be getting back to it. Right now, the team is tracking down an incredibly elusive, long-standing bug that causes queues to reset and throw players back to the end of the line, something that happens more often during the highly active beta events. Second, we need to make World v. World more rewarding for individuals. They're listening! We took a small step recently by increasing the speed at which the skirmish reward track is completed. but there's much more that we'd like to do, including providing player feedback rewards for active participation. That's nice too. As we mentioned last year, once population balance and rewards are addressed, our theory is that World v. World gameplay will see a significant shift. At that point, we intend to look very hard at core World v. World systems, upgrades, scoring, siege, etc., and balance them to ensure that the World v. World experience is reflecting our vision. Speaking of balance, profession balance has a huge impact on the World v. World experience. Whether you tend to play as a roamer, a havoc player, or if you choose to run with 49 or more of your closest friends, this brings us to our next area of focus. Profession updates! Which is literally just them saying that they'll be releasing PvP and World v. World balance changes on March 29th, which is cool, because they actually have a date for it, and the major profession update will drop on June 28th. They don't really give anything specific in this paragraph, but very exciting, especially for people who were like, they haven't touched World v. World in, and other people who were like, I want to try World v. World, but I can't get into it, you know what I mean? End of Dragons continued. This month, the team is focused on polishing up Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons by addressing content balance issues, exploits, and bug fixes. Your feedback has been immensely helpful in this regard, and we're continuing to watch conversations around rewards, meta difficulty, elite specializations, and others. You know, it's actually kind of funny. My husband and I had seen a post that was talking about Heart of Thorns, and people complaining about the Dragon Stand meta, saying that it was too hard, took too much time, took too many people, and people complaining about the reward track for that as well. So it's kind of funny how it's just like, history's repeated itself with End of Dragons, but I think that's how you know it's good, right? Because Heart of Thorns was really good.
Heart of Thorns is amazing.
Exactly. But it is nice that they're actually listening to people, and the forums have been like going off, and people have been responding, and there have been even Reddit posts, like people have created Reddits from the development team. Eddie's sneezing. And it's just been a really, really, really good experience, I think, for content creators, players, and developers alike. We're also working on finalizing the 4-strike mission challenge modes, the first of which is slated to release on April 19th. We've already heard a lot of positive feedback about the design of these encounters, and we're excited to see the community tackle these epic encounters over the next few months. The first new variant for the Generation 3 legendary weapons for all weapon types will drop on May 24th, themed after the fearsome Elder Dragon Zaitan. Details on how to unlock these variants will become available closer to their release. Any guesses as to what second variant will be in June? Any guesses as to what the next expansion will be titled? Oh, wait, I spilled the beans. Finally, we're happy to confirm that we're working on the next story update for Guild Wars 2, including a new map set in the Cantha region. The story and how we tell it can go in so many interesting directions now that the Elder Dragon's threat is addressed. The 2022 roadmap. There's actually a legit roadmap and not just for guild chats. Here's a look at our major release dates. March 15th, End of Dragons Polish build. The 29th, Super Adventure Festival. They're doing it again. I have to actually participate. April 19th, Living World Season 1, Episode 1, Aetherblade Hideout Challenge Mode. And the Aetherblade Hideout Challenge Mode. May 10th, Junlai Jade Junkyard Challenge Mode. May 24th, Living World Season 1, Episode 2, Kaineng Overlook Challenge Mode. New Legendary Weapon Variant. June 7th, Dragon Bash Festival and the Harvest Temple Challenge Mode. June 28th, Balance Update and New Legendary Weapon Variant. Other bonus events will be announced once their dates are locked in. This is huge. And they'll be posting a regular State of the Game blog post to keep you informed. Again, awesome! And, I spilled the beans earlier, but one last update before we go. We're happy to confirm that there will be a 4th expansion for Guild Wars 2. We mean it when we say we're focused on the long term. This is very early confirmation, the earliest we've ever done, in fact. So don't expect news anytime soon. been literally like 3 weeks. Expansions take a very long time to develop. Plus, there's a lot of cool things to look forward to between now and then, which is what is amazing, because I was wondering, with their posting the story and all of the features that they had upon release of the expansion, what they would be working on in between, and if that would keep people wanting to play and not get burnt out before whatever happens next. So this is huge. On behalf of the entire ANET team, thank you for your continued support. We sincerely believe that our best years as a studio are ahead of us. I think so too. A new beginning that starts with Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. And there you have it. All of the news. I'm sorry I got a little short of breath, so this will be cut a little bit differently. If you want to see the full version, go to my VOD channel of where I read everything. But it is very tough for me right now with being so close to the due date for the baby. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about for the future. So I will be posting Guild Wars 2 content on YouTube as I can. I will be streaming as I can, but I don't know if it'll be super close to the schedule as I've had of every day around 9 a.m. Central, but I will try. And I also have the VOD channel up for if you've missed anything or continue to miss full streams, story, whatever, for whatever I'm playing. I do plan on playing Final Fantasy Patch 6.1 in April once we're set with the baby. And I do plan on starting Star Wars The Old Republic and ESO, finally. I'm not sure which channel those will be on, but very excited. And yeah, again, special thanks to my patrons. Special thanks to Scar Productions for letting me use his version of the End of Dragons ending theme. And special thanks to you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you guys at the next one.